Hello, my friends. Have you ever done something and immediately realized it was not a wise choice? Or maybe you said something and wished you could take it back as soon as you said it? Yeah, I've totally been there. When I was young, I used to watch my two older brothers rock climb up the side of the house to get onto the roof of the porch and then jump off the roof onto the trampoline right below it. They made it look so easy and like it was so much fun, and so naturally, I really wanted to do it. But can I tell you, it was not easy. I couldn't even get up to the roof by myself. And once I got up there and saw that it was like a 6-foot drop to the trampoline, I panicked. I don't mind heights when I'm like secured into something. Zip lining 30 feet in the air, cool. I'm harnessed in, I'm down with that. Jumping 6 feet onto a trampoline, terrifying. I was frozen in fear immediately and I regretted it. Because just because my brothers could do it easily didn't mean that I could or that I should. It was awful and definitely was not wise for me to do that. See, wisdom is one of those things that can be hard to recognize beforehand, yet painfully obvious when we look back. I'm sure there are things in your life too that you look back on and think, why did I do that? What was I thinking? It was so dumb. Sometimes acting without wisdom doesn't make a huge difference in the long run. Just like me trying to jump off the roof, I didn't get hurt, thank God, even though it was actually kind of dangerous, so please do not try that at home. But there are other times though when wisdom means a lot more. It can actually affect the course of our lives in big ways, and not using wisdom can do a lot of damage to us and others. See, there's this guy named Solomon who lived a long time ago, and he said that if he could have anything in this world he could ever want, it would be wisdom. He wrote the book of Proverbs that's in the Bible, and it gives us practical wisdom for everyday living. So let's check out Proverbs chapter 3, starting at verse 5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones." See, I love this passage. It is so clear and to the point. We weren't born knowing everything, right? No. We're constantly learning and growing all the time. So do you currently know everything about everything right now? No, none of us do. That's why last week we talked about how God is the ultimate source of wisdom. So we can't depend on our own understanding of things all the time. We need to seek God and what he says is wise. Then we need to soak it all in and follow his will for our lives, because we will be better, stronger, healthier, and have more success in what we do when we follow God's wisdom. But the only way we will embrace God's wisdom for us is if we trust that he actually knows best. See, gaining wisdom requires trust. We need to have trust in God in order for us to receive any wisdom from him. Would you listen to somebody's advice in playing a video game who's never even played any video game before? No, that would be totally dumb. Don't do that. But if the creator of the game released a hint or a special way to win, you better believe everybody would be right on that. See, it's the same thing in our lives. God created us and everything else in the world. So we should listen to him when he tells us how to live and what's good and bad for us. He knows what he's doing. But if we don't trust him, then everything he says will be irrelevant to us. In order to accept and act on wisdom from God, we have to trust that he knows best. The second thing these verses show us about wisdom is that no one else can choose it for us. Your parents can't always make wise choices for you. Your teachers can't make you do the right thing, and your friends can't control your thoughts and actions. Just like we can't control or change anyone else, they can't do it for us either. We have to choose to believe and act on the wisdom God gives us. We can only choose wisdom for ourselves. Somebody could tell you all about wisdom and how you should live, but only you can control your actions and the choices that you make. Just like you can't make your friends always do the wise thing. We can tell others about Jesus, but they are the only ones that can choose to follow him. We also need to be careful what advice we're getting from others and making sure it actually is wise, which is why the people we surround ourselves with matters a lot. People can't control us, but they can strongly influence us. That's why we need to go to God and read the Bible to help us determine what is truly wise, or if it just seems like a good idea, even if it's not. And look, I get it. Sometimes wisdom doesn't really seem worth it. I mean, if you look at people's lives who make unwise choices a lot, or they just don't think before they act, it could seem like they're having a lot of fun. They may do stupid things, but it kind of seems like they enjoy their own stupidity, you know? Like my brothers had a blast jumping off the roof. So is it really worth it to act with wisdom? I definitely think so, and so does Solomon. Read verse 8 again. It says, when you act with wisdom from God, then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. Our hearts, souls, body, and minds will be healed and strengthened. We'll save ourselves from a lot of hurt when we live as strong, wise followers of Jesus. Wisdom protects us from regrets. When I got onto the roof to jump onto the trampoline, I immediately regretted it. Maybe you've regretted doing something similar, like getting in trouble trying to carry way more grocery bags in than you should, then accidentally smashing the entire bag of eggs. Some regrets don't matter much in the long run, but others make a difference. Maybe your regrets look a little bigger than heights or broken eggs. Maybe you regret talking bad about someone behind their back and ruining that friendship. Or maybe you stole something because your friends were doing it. Or you cheated on the test because you didn't study and you got a 0 when your teacher found out. Maybe you regret going too far physically with your crush, or searching things online that you shouldn't be searching. See, all of those things leave scars on our hearts, minds, and bodies. But healing for your body and strength for your bones are what happens when we live with wisdom. We are protected from regret when we do the wise thing, and then we don't have to suffer the bad consequences of our choices. We can bring healing and forgiveness to others instead of getting even with them when they don't use wisdom. We should do what's right, even if it's different compared to other people. When we depend on our own understanding and not wisdom from God, we experience brokenness, pain, regret, hurt in many different ways. But wisdom protects us from that. Making bad choices will leave us empty every time. And maybe not right in the moment, but at some point those consequences will catch up to us. If we want to experience lives that are free from guilt, regret, and bad consequences from our own actions, we need to start living with wisdom and experiencing the healing and strength God offers us. Choosing wisdom isn't easy, I know. It can be hard to stand up for what's right, but it's so worth it, and we get a more closely knit relationship with Jesus too. We can embrace His best for us when we give up our own selfish desires and choose wisdom. It is worth it every time. I promise.